Hello everybody, welcome back to the MaffmanJones movie channel. I've been hibernating. That's your explanation. Where have you been? I've been sleeping. That's it. I'm in a new location, and that's all you need to know. You don't need any other answers. You don't ask any other questions. That's all you're gonna get. And what's this? You calling it one-take reviews now? You're just gonna do this all in one shot? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. What are we talking about? The Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's really what's supposed to be the original Justice League movie. It was supposed to come out in 2017 or whatever. I'm not going to go over the details, but Zack Snyder made Man of Steel, and he also made Batman vs. Superman. And then some tragedy struck his life, and he had to leave the Justice League project midway through, and they had Joss Whedon take over, and he made his own movie that was so forgettable that I forgot about it, even though I enjoyed watching it like a couple days later. And now Joss Whedon is a weirdo, and we're not going to talk about that. But Zack Snyder got the opportunity for HBO Max to finish his project. He got about 60-70 million, and he shot some new stuff too. And here we are. And just to preface with my opinion on Zack Snyder with the DC movies, I don't like Batman v Superman. That's just how it is. I appreciate for what it's supposed to be. It's like he's doing his thing as an auteur, visual director, and Twitter will blow him up and worship him forever. It just wasn't my cup of tea. I really like Man of Steel though. I didn't have expectations for this. I found out the news and I was like, cool, it's fun. I'll enjoy it no matter what, I'm sure. I'm just intrigued by the situation. And oh, it's 4 hours? How's that gonna work? So going into this, I had really no expectation. I'm seriously no expectations. I got up early. I had off from work the day I watched it, and by noon, I was struck with the sense of awe at how much I took pleasure in watching this movie. And I like it so much that I haven't stopped thinking about it, and I kind of want to buy it on 4K when it comes out in a couple months. It's been the weirdest turn of events for me personally, because I couldn't care less about this whole thing, and now I'm obsessing over it a little bit. I'm not freaking out like on social media, but yeah. So Zack Snyder delivered a really well done Justice League movie that serves up to the kind of new day modern mythology with gods that he's been trying to create over the past decade or so. I think it really works in this movie, in conjunction with Junkie XL's score, which is overtly and ridiculously operatic the entire time. Very superhero-y, for lack of better words, but it works for the structure and the just the overall feel of the film the whole way through. And it brings the emotions when you need to, and it brings the levity, and it just brings the whole thing together. Compared to Danny Elfman's score, which I couldn't tell you, he brings back motifs from his older works, and but I didn't remember it. But this movie, for 4 hours, it's really well paced. I personally didn't feel the length, but I could see how others might. I was invested just because I was curious, and I was the whole way invested, which speaks to the level of filmmaking here. But I could see a lot of people watching this and tuning out, clocking out early. If you have no investment in this whole thing, there's no point in watching this. Don't even bother. But if you have curiosity, definitely check it out. I just know that a lot of people are going to have their patience tested by this runtime. The whole thing feels like one person's vision, though, for sure. We don't really get that much these days, where we have one person really delivering something that they set out to make. And I think Zack Snyder did a really good job of keeping the tone consistent the entire way through. But this is such a vast improvement over what we got in 2017. It's like night and day. People who watched that movie in 2017 and didn't like it, or just indifferent like I was, I kind of implore you to watch this version, because you are going to notice the significant difference in it. Zack Snyder really does a really good job with story and character here, where I think both of those kind of fail in his previous effort. I think in this one, everything works. All the characters get their chance to shine, some more so than others, admittedly. The biggest strengths for me here are Cyborg and Flash, played by Ray Fisher and Ezra Miller, respectively. The entire Cyborg side plot was kicked out of the original movie. And not to get into the whole thing, but it shows what Joss Whedon was trying to do as a director in his vision of all this important meat that he took out of this movie to make whatever he made. Like, anyway, yeah. So a lot of emotional moments and emotional arcs with both of those characters that really worked for me without spoiling, especially at the end of the movie. Both of them have moments. One had a moment that had me a tear going down the cheek, and I'll just say the Flash has my favorite sequence in the entire damn thing. Wonder Woman is really good. I really like Ben Affleck in this. Jeremy Irons is Alfred. You also have Aquaman. There's a lot of nice humanizing moments with characters like Aquaman, Jason Momoa, and Wonder Woman. That Themyscira sequence from the original movie is here. That was Zack Snyder's, but there's more impact here. The action sequences are all so well done too. I was engaged the entire way through, and you could see that Zack Snyder just kind of took everything that he had and just threw it out there and just let everything happen. But I do think the sequences are well edited and well put together in conjunction with the music, like I mentioned before. It really all comes together well. And if you're engaged in the movie, you're going to enjoy these sequences. And yeah, the only complaints I really have about the movie are some of the creative choices that Zack Snyder makes. And that's just kind of how it is. If you like Zack Snyder, you won't mind these. Nothing in here bothered me, but there were a couple times where I was like, why are we focusing on this? It doesn't bother me, but it doesn't really help the narrative. It doesn't aid in what we're saying here. It's just here to add maybe a character beat or a background beat for an extra. There's a moment with Aquaman with this random extra in the icy location that just, it's awkward. And I mean, I get it, I got it, but I don't understand why it was something that happened, if that makes sense. If you've seen the movie, I think you understand what I'm talking about. And then the epilogue. So the movie is 4 hours long, but there's a whole half-hour epilogue after the movie's over that basically just shows us what happens after the events of this film. And take it or leave it, it is what it is. This is where a lot of the extra money went towards, and a lot of what-if scenarios showcasing like these characters in a sandbox where Zack Snyder was thinking of going in the future with these characters. I personally had a lot of fun with what there was. I mean, between the Joker and Batman, there's a moment that I'm not going to spoil, but it's kind of hilarious. It's also kind of enlightening in seeing what Zack wanted to do. Some people aren't going to like it. You could probably turn the movie off after the previous chapter and skip the epilogue. But if you want to see some interesting ideas, stick around for the epilogue. And that's really the gist of it, without really getting into spoilers, because there's a lot to talk about with this movie. And I did a spoiler podcast with my friend Noah Villaverde on the Blank Green Canvas podcast, which you could check out. I'll link that down below. We talked about some of our favorite moments in the movie and like just certain things that really stood out. But overall, yeah, Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's not like the greatest movie ever. It's not the worst movie ever. But it is a vast improvement over the previous thing that we got in 2017. It seems like one person's vision that works really well, and I can't stop thinking about it. And that shows to the testament of the filmmaking from Zack that I really like this a lot. And it's probably my favorite movie from him, from this whole DC universe, over Man of Steel. It's very consistent. I kind of want to watch a more condensed 2.5 hour cut with his vision alone, because there are certain sequences you can pull out of this movie that I don't think would deter from the overall viewing. However, for its 4 hour runtime that we got here, I'm glad that Zack got to finish this movie for his family, for his daughter, for himself, just for that closure. And yeah, for Autumn. That's what it is. It's a really good movie, in my opinion. I am curious, though, how people are going to feel about that 4 hour runtime, though, because I know a lot of people who probably would watch it, but aren't going to because of that. Or you're going to have to break it up into like 4 or 5 viewings over the course of a whole week or something. I don't know. But yeah, That is my first one take review. Pardon the dust. I don't know what I'm doing. I really never know what I'm doing, but I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to be trying out different angles, different things. This is a new setup I have right here, this angle, this whole thing, doing one take. I'm trying some things, so if you enjoy this, let me know down below. You could comment down below too. Let me know what you thought of the movie. Let me know what you think of this. And what do you want to see from the future with this channel? I've been here for, when did I start? 2011? Late 2011, yeah. Been over almost 10 years. Ugh. I'm going in an existential crisis right now. I'm gonna stop. Thank you again for watching, though. If you've been here the entire time, you're still listening to me ramble, thank you. Love you all. If you haven't already, please subscribe, ring that bell, so every time you see a new video from me, they'll show up on your feed and you'll get a notification about it. Like the video, apparently that helps too. And I'll see you guys very soon. The next big movie that comes out is Mortal Kombat, so get ready for one of these one-take reviews for that when it comes out. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Love y'all. Peace.